Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Monday, June 6th, 2022. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comments section below. If you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. I'm running a daily $15 MLB best bet, so check it out at Pick Dawgz Premium. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Monday, June 6th. First up, we see the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Madison Bumgarner and Hunter Greene are your starters in this one. Now, these are two pitchers that I cannot back at a hitter-friendly ballpark like Great American Ballpark. Madison Bumgarner started the season strong for the Diamondbacks, but he has struggled since. In May, he was really off. He's given up 4 earned runs to the Cubs, 5 earned runs, and 3 homers to the Dodgers. And he allowed at least a home run in 3 of his last 5 starts. The walks were an issue at times as well, and the base hits have certainly become an issue. So now Bumgarner's ERA is above 3 after it was below 2 for the longest time. And on the other side, Hunter Greene, a 6.19 ERA. We know he's got really good strikeout stuff, but he also has a lot of issues with the home run ball this season. 15 home runs allowed already in 48 innings of work. And he's going up against an Arizona Diamondbacks lineup that you may not think it, but they are very powerful, especially against right-handed pitching this season. In the last few weeks or so, they've been the #1 team in isolated power against righties. And on the season, they're #2 in baseball, just behind the Los Angeles Dodgers in isolated power against righties. So I think we're going to see a lot of offense in this game. I think both starters get pulled early. I'm going to take the over in the Diamondbacks Reds. Next up, we see the Texas Rangers taking on the Cleveland Guardians. We're going to see Jon Gray and Cal Quantrill on the mound for this one. This is a tough game, as it's really going to depend on which starter we see from Jon Gray. You know, Jon Gray last time, 7 innings, 12 strikeouts against the Tampa Bay Rays. Previous start in that one against one of the worst lineups in baseball in Oakland. 6 innings, 5 earned runs, and 2 home runs with 3 walks to go with it. He's been super inconsistent this season, and he is facing a pretty tough lineup in the Guardians that's top 15 in baseball against righties and team OPS this season. On the other side, Cal Quantrill is the type of pitcher, if you're a baseball analytic fan like myself, you do believe that he's going to have some regression as the season carries on. He doesn't strike out a ton of batters. He does have some issues with the walks as well. The reason why he's had so much success this season and in years past is he keeps the ball in the yard. He's only given up 3 home runs in 53 2/3 innings this season. Doesn't give up a lot of hard contact. And against the Rangers lineup that has to travel here and has not hit nearly as well against righties as they have against lefties, I do think this is a pretty good spot for Cal Quantrill. We know the Rangers had a heartbreaking loss on Sunday in extra innings where they blew a 3-run lead and then lost the game in extras. And that bullpen was taxed a bit in that outing as well. Perez was only able to go 6 innings, so they had to use 5 relievers out of the pen in that one. And I do think that's going to hurt him in this spot, especially in a travel day. I'm going to take the Guardians on the money line here. We don't really have to lay too much of juice on this one. I'll take Cleveland on the money line. In our next game, we see the Seattle Mariners taking on the Houston Astros. Robbie Ray and Christian Javier on the mound for this one. Now, I do think if there was a dog that you're getting a really good price on Monday's card, there's only 6 games, but I do think the underdog of the day could be the Seattle Mariners. You know, they're getting a really good price here at plus 140 on your money. We saw the Minnesota Twins on Sunday get the job done and getting plus 180 when the final line was out, and they were able to win that game outright. I think the Mariners have a solid shot at doing so against the Astros. Not only do the Astros have to travel here to Houston from Kansas City while the Mariners get to stay in the state of Texas, but also, you know, Houston not as good against lefties as they are good against righties. We saw Houston, the Astros lineup, struggle mightily against Chris Bubic of all starters on Saturday. They were shut out in that ball game, and Chris Bubic had an ERA above 12 going into that start. Now you're facing Robbie Ray, who certainly has had his struggles this season, but we know he's got Cy Young caliber stuff when he's on, and you know, the Astros 21st in baseball in team OPS against left-handed pitching. I do think it's worth a shot with the Mariners, a team that found a win on Sunday. Their offense has been getting a lot better as of late also. I think it's worth a shot to take Seattle on the money line here. So I'm going to take the value with the M's on the money line. In our next game, we see the Boston Red Sox taking on the Los Angeles Angels. Michael Wacha and Noah Syndergaard on the mound for this one. Now, we saw the same exact pitching matchup back in Boston and Fenway Park about a month ago, and the Red Sox prevailed in that game with Wacha on the mound. I do think this is kind of a coin flip type of game, but with the way the Angels have looked lately, 11 straight losses, I cannot back them in this spot, especially when you look at the Red Sox. You know, on Sunday, I didn't think they had a great chance against the A's with Frankie Montas on the mound, but they got to Montes early. They found a few runs in the bullpen as well, and they won that ball game 5-2, and they're just playing really solid baseball lately. Now a game above 500 on the road and back at 500 overall this season. Who would have thought the Red Sox would come back that much? They were, I think, double digits below 500 at one point this season. They're playing the much better baseball, and I do think, Noah Syndergaard, now his ERA is above 4. I saw the regression coming as his strikeout numbers are just way down this season. Not only 27 Ks and 40 in the third innings this season, and didn't have a single strikeout last time out against the Yankees, where he got crushed. 2 1/3, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, and a home run against the New York Yankees last time. The Red Sox bats are crushing righties, especially on the road lately. And now on the season, Boston is in the top 10 in team OPS against righties. I'm going to take the Red Sox here, getting the plus money, and it's not too bad to fade, on a streak. When the Angels have lost 11 in a row, we took them all 3 against the Phillies in Philadelphia. I'm going to keep fading the Angels until they show me something different. Give me the Red Sox on the money line. Next up, we see the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Kansas City Royals. Ross Stripling and Daniel Lynch are the starters here. Now, this is a tough game also for me, as I have been impressed with how the Royals have done against right-handed pitching lately. They have started to hit righties, a little bit better than they have lefties. In the beginning of the season, they were really struggling offensively overall, but we're starting to see some guys wake up. We saw Salvador Perez have a really strong showing on Sunday with a home run and an RBI double as well. And I do think they're going to be able to get the Ross Stripling a bit in this spot, but the only issue I have is Daniel Lynch on the mound. 4.81 ERA this season. I do think he actually has some regression in his game as well to worry about. The Blue Jays bats have been there. The bullpen and starting pitching hasn't always been there, as we saw him struggle on Sunday with Kevin Gausman, but their offenses, I think, will show up in this game, and I do think it's going to be a higher scoring game. I lean towards the over. That's why the total here is set at 9.5. Kauffman Stadium, not known as a hitter-friendly park, but this total set at 9.5. I think it's for a good reason. So I'm going to take the over in the Blue Jays Royals. I lean towards Toronto, but just a really crazy price to lay with them on the road. Give me the over in Toronto KC. In our final game of the night, we see the New York Mets taking on the San Diego Padres. Carlos Carrasco and Blake Snell on the mound for this one. Now, the Mets have proved a lot of people wrong, including myself this season. I do think this is a really tough spot for them, though. It's a travel day on their West Coast trip. They had to use a lot of their big-time relievers in the win on Sunday, and Edwin Diaz, Seth Lugo's pitched on back-to-back days now. And they are facing a lefty in Blake Snell, and Blake Snell, a 4.8 ERA, but I have been really impressed with how he's bounced back in his last couple starts. And you look at his last start against the Cardinals, the best lineup in baseball against lefties in terms of team OPS in St. Louis. Snell was able to go 6 innings, only giving up 2 earned runs, 2 base hits, 6 strikeouts in that one, which is pretty impressive. He put his team in a competitive spot to win that game. Padres did lose that one in extra innings, but I think he pitches well against the Mets, a team that just hasn't hit lefties very well this season. We saw Julio Urias pitch really well against the Mets on Sunday, even though the Dodgers lost that game. And we saw Tyler Anderson dominate against the Mets in the beginning of that series, and that was a Dodger win there. The Mets are number 2 in baseball in team OPS against right-handed pitching this season. But against lefties, they're outside the top 15. The Padres are winning ball games. Their bullpen's getting it done as well. And at home here, I'm going to take the Padres here on the money line. We're getting a really good price with San Diego. Give me San Diego on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Monday, June 6th. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.